Now we're going to see if this works. Does it work? Yeah. Does it work? Today we're doing these workbooks, page 60 to 64. We're going to talk about some stuff. I had to take You know what? We should talk about technical issues. You could talk about like when you're dealing with your healing and dealing with like this really intense trauma that we've all been through, and you hit a roadblock. You went back in. Works. Okay, cool. Works. Sometimes you just have to lay on the floor. Sometimes you just have to restart everything. Sometimes you're married for less. Oh God, the humor. I got married to have a techie. Let's just not lie about it. Why are you lying? Thank you, baby Jesus. Thank you, baby Jesus, and all the fat cherubs in heaven. Our microphone is working. It's a damn lie. It's not even working. I'm using the default from the computer. That means that I've bought that little fuzzy thing. And is that fuzzy little puffy thing useful to me? No, it's not. Look, the workbook today. What irritates you or upsets you about this process? Technical problems. Technical problems drive me nuts. Technical problems are the reason that I will stop. Technical problems are the reason I'm like, bye, y'all, bye. And I will tell you a little story, okay? Technical problems, okay? For those of you who know me for a while, hey, I made a documentary, Searching for Angela Shelton. You can watch it for free on my website. God bless you and all the saints in heavens. And I drove around the country. I'm getting to a point. I drove around the country and I met every Angela Shelton in America. I thought it was going to be funny. And it was funny for like a minute. Of course, I tend to be funny all the time. I'll bring the fun and funny in the face of all the fears. That's who I am. So I'm making this movie. It's a huge hit. Like it was like anyway, I'll tell you why it was a huge hit. I came home after meeting all the Angela Sheltons for 60 days. It was like 56 days on the road. I had a crew of 4. It was 2 months of my life. And I ended up confronting my own dad. The cliff notes were I traveled around the country to meet every Angela Shelton. I thought it was going to be funny. I was asking, who are you? Where have you been? And where are you going? And it turns out that 70% had been victims of horrible, horrible things. And then that started that conversation. And then there was an Angela Shelton who lived in the same town as my bio dad, who's like the creepy van down by the river. Candyman owned an arcade, like creepy. He's the perp that my superhero character is saving kids from. I mean, and we arrived, and there was an Angela Shelton in his town who was tracking Segs McCool's predators, and it was Father's Day. Like, you can't write that. If I wrote that in a screenplay, they'd be like, it's a little bit too easy. So anyway, I made this whole movie, came home, hired an editor to take it away from me, because that's what we do, right? I'm telling you this for a reason. Like, this is layers of meaning, right? So I wanted an editor to take my life from me, and you do it. You do it for me. And he did it. He edited it. It was very funny, cute, whimsical movie. And it's like I confronted my dad, like, oh yeah, I confront my dad, and then blah blah, and then like we're all in an RV and it's all funny and blah blah blah. And I submitted it to festivals. It didn't get into any, which didn't match my dreams that I'd had, because I wrote down all my dreams that I had while I made this movie, which I encourage you to do while you're doing your own healing work, is just listen to your dreams. And I wrote them down in my book called Finding Angela Shelton, which is about how that movie, Searching for Angela Shelton, like ran me into a wall and changed my life forever. And my name, that's funny. I changed my name to Angela Shelton when I was 18. I'm originally Angie Sturgis. That's why I like Harley so much. Sturgis. I just didn't want to carry around my dad's name or his family name, so I went Shelton. So that means Angela Shelton for me is like even more special because I chose. So here I am. I gave the movie away to an editor, much like many lives away. You fix it. You do it. You tell me what to do. You la la la. Nothing happened with it. Then I hired another editor, who was this French lady, who made the movie that was so depressing. It was like I had the whimsical fun version, and then there was a version that you want to drive your car off a cliff. I mean, literally, you see it and you're like, well, that's sad as hell. And so I'm watching both of these movies. Both editors told me that that's all the footage you have. That's all I can do with this. And they could not have been more different. Same footage. And so I'm like, I need to fix this because it doesn't match my dreams. And that movie also didn't get into any fuss. It got into one in Montreal, I think, because it was depressing. It was a depressing, sad movie. And it wasn't matching my dreams. And I was like, what is the matter? And I was with a techie at the moment. I was married to a techie. God bless. I mean, I will marry the nerd. And he says to me, Angela, edit the movie yourself. Everything gets silent. And I go, edit the movie myself. And he goes, yeah, why are you complaining? Just edit the movie yourself. I lost my dang mind. I cried. I was so upset with him and the comment that he made that I edit myself because I don't know how to edit a movie. I don't know how to do that. I'm like, you're crazy. I'm like, that's like techno trauma on high alert. That's like red alert alarm. That's like sound the fire alarms of technical stuff, which makes me already like, oh God. And I cried and cried and cried and yelled and cried and yelled and cried. And he was like, I don't know what your problem is. Just read the effing manual. Hence why we have a manual. This all comes back to like why you need a manual and you need some steps, right? And so because I loved him and hated him at the same time. And I did actually read the manual, and I took one Avid class. It was Avid. Of course, I learned Avid, not Final Cut Pro. So I went into the most difficult one, right? Which is the best in my opinion. And so garage is open and bikes are starting. It's so exciting. So I had to learn it myself, which is much like our healing. You can't just hand your healing over to your therapist. You can't just hand it over to a healer. Like, you have to do it. And so that the layers of meaning there was I had to edit my own movie, and I had to face my techno trauma, which is why I bring this up. You're a history nerd. I love it. No, thank you, Heather. And my point was, when it all is relative and there's layers of meaning. And when you're looking at like things that you're facing that scare the living bejesus out of you or frustrate the hey out of you today on this workbook that we're going through, page 60, what irritates or upsets you the most? Me, technical stuff. It will make me stop. It will make me like, the moment this doohickey thingy doesn't go to this doohickey thingy, I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna go for a walk. Y'all are never gonna see a video again because I don't know what this thing does. And so if anybody else feels me, I'm like, oh God, like the technical stuff, like even with TikTok, I love TikTok. I'm just barely like creeping into the lab center and lab creator tools because I'm like, what does this button do? I don't know. I just don't know. And that for me is my roadblock. And I've had to get over it. And I edited my movie myself, y'all. I learned the Avid. I learned Avid, not iMovie or Final Cut Pro. I learned the Avid, which is definitely more fluid for those smart people. I love it. Anyway, I faced my biggest fears. I learned the Avid, and that is when the movie went on Oprah, 48 Hours, Lifetime, and the rest is history, and Larry King Live and all that stuff. So it's like, that was me getting over my own fear hurdle myself by reading the manual. We're divorced now. Just kidding. Had nothing to do with that. But life made you do it. Yes, like life made me do it. And my guy was like, do it yourself. Like, there's a lot of really supportive men out there. There really are. This whole like anti-male thing, I'm not about it. So it was men. The men in my life have been, have many times pushed me forward, and the good men outweigh the bad men. So yeah, because I've had some, bad experiences with the fellas also, as we all have, most of us. And so the manual, which is why I wrote, when I was learning all this stuff with like healing techniques and learning to get out of panic and anxiety and all this stuff, I wrote the manual. That this can be the sword of trauma, which if you're new here, you want to see my sword, let's get inappropriate. This is my sword, y'all. Listen. Because trauma is like getting pierced with a sword. Even if you have like technical problems. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. So like even if you have technical issues, like that would be a trauma, right? So it's like that can be like this, and you can live like that for the rest of your life in panic and anxiety and health problems, and it's hard to cuddle. And good morning. And this is like the when the sword represents trauma, it gives you something to look at that doesn't last forever. It's not a clown car. You can address it, just like with the editing process. I did cry. I did get the books on editing. I did throw them across the room a couple times, and I did cry and beat them with my fist. I did that. Yeah, I did that. And what upsets and irritates me in this page 60 is technical problems. So it's like that drives me nutballer. So if anybody else shares that with me, just give me a little so it may seem exhausting and overwhelming to remove your sword or to deal, which is dealing with your trauma and things that freak out. And it's better to just, in your mind, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to take this. I'm like, oh no. But calmly, step by step, we address the issues, right? Just baby steps. We go calmly and through it. We go calmly. We go step and step and step. Step one, just acknowledge it. I have techno problems. Technical stuff freaks me the hell out. Am I the only one? It's like, I'm like, ah. Right, okay. I am annoyed by they keep changing. Technical, I hate Apple. At the cult of Apple, like everything. Once you get okay with this thing, and you're like, okay, I know what this thing does. They come out with another one, and I'm like, ah! I am overwhelmed by, me personally, technical issues. Like I just like, I'll get married. I get frustrated when I have technical issues. So like y'all, what in your whole world, what's the most thing that like irritates you, upsets you, annoys you, overwhelms you, frustrates you? What is it? Me? This thing. I don't know. Yeah. This thing. I can't get this to work. I bought this to back up my computer so I can get a new one. Nope. Does it work? No. I can't get it to work. So you feel me? I have an uneducated love-hate relationship with all things computer. High five. And the thing is there are some people out there that it's easy for them. It's like nothing. It's like me. Like if I teach you to do some other creative writing or like, or I can teach you all kinds of other things, but the technical stuff, I'm just like, oh my God. I'll teach you easy ways to get over it, to move past it, the ways that I did. Good. Hey, scented night. Hey, when does the funny commence? Gordon, are you boring as hell? Do you not have any fun in your life or no funny? Because everybody's talking about themselves, my friend. Anywho, so do you know me, Gordon? Have you been here before? Or are you just coming in and saying when's the funny? Hey, Gordon. You wanna try this little guy? You wanna try this one? Or you want this end? Hey Gordon, you want this end or this end? Nowadays you don't know which end you're gonna want. So we are at that stage where what would happen if you just give up? I'm poking the bear. I am the daughter of the perpetrator, y'all. Of course I'm gonna poke the bear. Like that's my dad. The one that you're trying to save your kids from, that's my dad. So it's like I'm like, poke. Yeah, okay. So I am irritated and I love all y'all, is what I'm gonna tell you right now. So just to recap, because we're on page 60, this is a workbook. You can get it on my website, angelashelton.com. Kind of funny. Send me some cash. Just kidding. You don't have to. And this workbook goes over the steps of trauma is like being pierced with a sword. So whatever trauma you went through, whether you had raised by wolves, whether you're dealing with technical issues, whether you were, a victim of some horrible, horrible things, it's like being pierced with a sword, and you can live like that for the rest of your life. You can be irritating to other people. You can be a little troll. It's hard to cuddle. You can not be fulfilling your life purpose at all. You could just stay in pain. You could be a victim addict and you just like complaining about your life all the time. Or you could remove it, which would be addressing your trauma, which is this process is crying and raging. It really is. And then you heal the wound and then you have it. So that's where we're going. I'm not giving up on my chance to meet you. Hey, come ride bikes in Nashville. I told y'all. I told you. I'm pretty open book. I'm pretty open book. And I just did my very first reaction video on YouTube for yoga. Sorry about the sound, but you know what? This is where we have to be. So we're at the stage now of talking about removing your sword, like addressing it, which tends to be all either anger or crying. Love the pic on the wall behind you. Thanks. This one, Johnny Cash and Elvis. It's Elvis, y'all. Look, I didn't even realize Elvis was here in the building. Hold on. Hold on. Look, you're on the wall, baby. You're on the wall. God, can't even. For those who know me, he needs some love. Look at him. This is my boyfriend. Anybody who knows I have a boyfriend would know that it is Elvis. Listen, sometimes you just need to love yourself up. Hey, Elvis. Hey. For those of you who don't know what this means, and you're like, what the hell does she have an Elvis doll in her face? You know, just deep dive me. It might be fun. It might hurt a little bit, but it'll ultimately be fun. And so we're at the phase where we're talking about removing our sword of trauma, right, Elvis? Angela, want to hear something hilarious? Yeah, always. Please. It's weird to hear. I mean, I will read it. I will read something hilarious as we deal with the trauma, because this, I think, dealing with the worst trauma ever is good to add the funny. He's going to fall, y'all. He's going to fall. Hold on. Bye. Elvis has left the building. In my next page, when you're dealing with like your horror. Wait, for my last assignment from my ethics class, you have to write your own obituary. Holy cow. That's actually pretty profound. Manny Pettycheck. For those of you into this sort of thing. Listen, I'm always barefoot. I'm always going to be barefoot. That's just me. Hammock camping, barefoot. Let's write the obituary of this live. Yeah, Rachel. And then the obituary of this live, she started talking Elvis. She started talking to and people that are new are like, what in the hey are you talking about? You're funnier than I am. I should let you write my obituary. She had every disease known to man. And then the diseases that nobody knew existed, she had them. And then she got a degree in every disease. And then she had degrees in diseases. If you didn't know what it was, she had it. Why sword? Why not sword? Why not sword is the question. There we go, zombie. It's like, why sword? Why not sword? This is because what we're doing is, if you're new to me, and I can't even see, like, I got so many pop-ups happening. Good Lord. So it's like, trauma is like being pierced with a sword, and you can live that for the rest of your life if you so choose, or remove it and then become warriors, reformers. Which disease took you out? I don't know. It's probably not even a disease, Rachel. It's probably going to be like this. Or you're Catholic, so it's going to be like a disease. Bus driven by Mary. She was wiped out just as soon as she got another disease. On her way to get milk. Mary wiped her out because she had finished all of her life's lessons and helped so many people and changed the laws across every state. And she'd gotten Aaron's law implemented with education to save kids around the world. And then she got taken out by a bus on her way to buy milk. Is that good? You like it? There's your obituary. She was loved by many, had a great transformation that we all got to watch. Yeah, I have a comedy about that, actually. I wrote a comedy about a guy who keeps offing himself. I know it's a comedy, it's a touchy subject. I literally wrote it for Jim Carrey. And that you just keep offing yourself to where he ends up dumping porta potties. Like he hated his life and complained and kept offing himself and kept saying, this is shitty. So he ends up dumping porta potties, and he's got to have this whole life, like, learn to love life in every moment. He finally gets it. Milo gets it, is what it's called. And as soon as he gets it, as soon as he realizes, like, you know what, I'm infinitely happy right now in this moment, the bus comes by driven by Jesus and knocks him out. I mean, there's the movie. I don't even need to make it. Let's go back to Tappy Tappy Tappy. Like Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. Yeah, exactly. But it's like new lives. It was like, a knight, a samurai warrior, a rock star. Like it goes like higher, and then lower. It was pretty funny. I have it. It's called Milo Gets It. But when you make a comedy about that word, SUICIDE, is like in a super, super, super PC world, like, oh my God, you can't make that funny. Why not? How to scream down and send it to all your friends. Hold the screen down. Oh, okay. Hold the screen down. Okay. So we're on page 62, is when you're addressing your trauma and dealing with all your diseases and all your traumas. Like, oh my God, the list is long, right? You don't want to feel. You get sick and tired of, right? What are they? What do you get sick and tired of? Like, I'm sick and tired of it. What? Sick at 2,000 likes right now. Oh, you're so cute. I love all y'all that like wanna add me out in the world into global brains. Add me to the global brain, y'all. Add me to the global brain. Anyway, this is Timothy. Timothy wanted to come in. Hey, so when you're addressing trauma and your sword. Hi, Timothy. Hi. Are you cool today? Oh no, let's get your sword. Timothy has the sword today. Okay, so we we are going. I just shared you to Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, I know Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell saved my AAAASSS. You want to hear my Rosie O'Donnell story? So just shared me with Rosie. Hey, Ro, if you do actually click on this. So I made my documentary where I drove around the country and I met every Angela Shelton. Then I started I went on Oprah, then I was on 48 Hours and Larry King Live and Lifetime and all kinds of stuff. Rosie saw me on 48 Hours and she sent me an email that said, hey, it's Ro. Love what you're doing. Do you need any help? And I was like, as if that's Rosie. Give me, like, that's funny. Because I had all my contact information. Still have it on my website. If you want to email me, feel free. And I said, yeah, right. Call me if this is really Rosie. And I put my phone number. And I was at an airport heading to a speaking engagement. And she called me. And her voice is very distinctive. I mean, it's Rosie O'Donnell. And I was like, hello. And I was like, oh, well, I just ate my ass because ate my words because hello. And she goes, I love your movie. I love what you're doing. Do you need any help? Like, how are you doing? And I was like, I was in the midst of being sued by a perpetrator trying to stop my movie and trying to save my house and like because there's a lot of behind the scenes people don't realize. When I started making that movie, oh my gosh, did I get hit. I got hit by every possible angle. Same thing happened to me when I was doing my Hammer movie, my boxing movie. Same thing. And I believe that when you're doing things to create global shifts and global change that are helping a lot of people, you're going to get hit. So prepare yourself. And so I was like, yeah, I'm actually in like total dire, I wouldn't say dire straits, but I mean, it's like, it's not easy. It's bad. And she goes, oh, what do you need? What's your mortgage? She sent me money to pay my mortgage for 3 months. Yeah. Rosie O'Donnell. Thank you, Rosie. She's amazing. She's so great. And then I went on her cruise with her wife before her wife died, Kelly. They had our family vacations. I think she still has it, but her wife has passed away. And that is so fun. She has a cruise for LGBTQ, what alphabet people, alphabet city parents. So like it's gay parents who have, and it is so fun. It's a gay family vacation cruise. It is so fun. I went on it 4 times. I went with my brother, I went with my boyfriend, I went with my best friend, and I went with another filmmaker. So fun because the whole ship, like everybody on the ship had the same love. Like they're same, like they're there all in. And listen, being around a bunch of gay guys who have kids was just fun as hell. Especially when I went with my brother before he died. It was like amazing. So I was gonna stop at 2,000 likes, but your stories are quite interesting. Oh, you're so cute. Thank you. I tell some stories. I got lots of stories. And most of my stories are about helping elevate and expand out of chronic pain, out of trauma that is horrible. Like I bring the fun and funny in the face of the worst fears imaginable. Like we're talking, the child abuse and some, like, so things we can't say on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? Which is why I have this workbook, which is why we're doing it, which is why I'm doing it for free on my YouTube, and I'm putting it on my app, and I'm adding to my course that's been out forever. And I have courses. You can book me to speak. I have books. I do a lot of stuff, and you can, book me. You can do private time with me. Not, what'd you say? You behave. But my reason I'm doing it for free on my YouTube and really talking about this and going through each page of it is the Be Your Own Hero Sword of Trauma workbook, is because that's amazing. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Is because there are people who need to hear this stuff who are flat on the floor. And hey, thank you for the crown, who are flat on the floor. And as we each heal and expand and share our healing, hey, thank you. You do affect everyone around you. So just by you healing your life and just by you addressing your own stuff, that's all you have to do. You elevate and expand everyone around you. Woo! I mean, you do. You elevate and expand. I achieved a goal. Look, I achieved a goal, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. I think that was Cynthia. Hey, Cynthia. She sent me a crown. Stay. Stay. Oh, they're coming for me. Quick, hide. Just kidding. So the reason I'm doing this is because there are so many people who need it, who need to find this information. If they find me with a crazy puppet on YouTube and stop for a minute and then end up addressing their generational trauma that they've never told anybody about, I've done my duty. And so it's like just leaving pebbles, leaving escape routes. So I'm laying little pebbles of escape routes, as we all should do, as you're doing your own healing and as you're elevating and expanding. We're like water, y'all. It's like, oh yes, do you work with shadow work? Yeah, of course. Like you have to, right? It's like I'm all full circle. This is also why I talk a lot about segmicals and healing that and having a holy bedroom and treating. And I just did a whole big old long talk with my friend Jesus last night that we'll post probably on our Rumbles, because we went deep into some discussions that can get you banned from everywhere because you're talking about healing some old segmicals. Ah! You are cultivating love. Oh, yay. Well, that's my intention. Thank you for noticing. That's my intention, because as we share, we are elevating and expanding, and healing is an act of revolution. Just your own life. Because a lot of people, especially survivors of some generational child stuff, can get into that codependent. I mean, I even hate that word. Can get into taking care of everybody else's stuff and not your stuff, right? And so when you just look at it, just healing your own life, you getting into like you loving your life again, or first time ever, maybe for some people, you learning to put playtime on your schedule, which is part of this, and you like actually healing the wounds. That is an active revolution. You will energetically affect everyone around you. There's no way you cannot. So because a lot of survivors will take on and say like just because they're going to take on, hey, thank you, just because they're going to take on say like they're going to address their trauma, now they're going to start a nonprofit and they're going to go save everybody and they're going to go like save the people from the horrible like Sound of Freedom level stuff. And it's like I'm really watching my words on TikTok. Have you noticed? I'm like, please don't ban me for my mouth. So many people will take on other people's pains in front of their own. And that's why I just point out, like, just you healing, getting to where you love your life and you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, I love my life, is completely unrecognizable from somebody who is a self-mutilator, self-hater, in a chronic abusive relationships. You're in your generational trauma. You're in the hamster on the wheel. Those are the people that come to me and are like, sometimes hate me. And then they take a minute and they're like, wait, what'd you say? What'd you say? I know, baby. I know. It's hard. But I will tell you, it's easier done than said. It's easier done than said, because especially in this society, we can talk a lot about our troubles, and you can be on a sofa for the next 25 years telling somebody your problems, who also has their own problems, who's also loaded up on meds, by the way. So it's like getting out of all of that repeated traumas and like blocking all of the actual revolutionary healing that is really like quantum healing. It's not, I mean, not like very much quantum healing. You can have aha moments and shift things overnight. Instantly. You can have instantly. And that's what I'm all about. The acceptance is hard. That's step one. Step one. Like, just like, well, we've been through some hell. Okay. Yeah, me too. You too. Me too. Oh my God. What if you don't know what caused trauma, brain block, periods out? Yeah, I did a puppy. I got a puppy, a little butt. A puppy with a butt. I love the puppy with the butt. Puppy with a butt. You know what? I don't believe in the whole, like, if you don't remember it, you've got to go back and like pull it out of your, pull it out of something and then relive it and remember the memories. I'll give you one example. In my book where Finding Angela Shelton, when I talk about my own father, there was something that my brother said. And because I had the thing where I couldn't close the bathroom door, like anywhere, I'll be anywhere. Bathroom door's open here, and I'll pee or whatever, or even take a shower and leave the bathroom door open. And because I had this thing where I just couldn't close the door. Well, I mean, you do the math, that probably means something happened with the door closed. You know what I mean? And subconsciously, I'm like, let's keep the door open. Let's just keep the door open, right? And so I mentioned it to my brother when he's in my movie, like where I was interviewing him about the abuse that we experienced with my own bio dad. He was my stepbrother. And I was like, yeah, I have a thing. I just threw it out, like tossed it out, like nonchalant, like, oh yeah, I have a thing where I always keep the bathroom door open. And he said, oh, Angie, you don't remember that? And I was like, you know what? I don't need to remember that. I don't need to go there. I don't need to do hypnosis. You need to just shut the bathroom door. Just take the bathroom back. Just take the bathroom back. You don't need to go like traumatize yourself again. Like there are quantum healing techniques of just like elevating out of that without going back again. Many times, and I'm telling you, organized perpetrators, first of all, if you didn't know this, you can't sleep with the bedroom door closed. Same, probably something happened with, I mean, I get it. It's like, well, instead of going back and like figuring out what happened, that whoever closed the bedroom door and then hurt you, you can literally do a sword move. I mean, we could add this at the end where we do a hoo-ah, hooga badooga booga. Like we're gonna like attack the door and take away all the energy from the door, and we're gonna do a crazy dance, and we're gonna do like a crazy like We're going to take the door back. You don't need to go back and like relive whatever whoever creepy uncle or grandpa or daddy or whoever, mom's boyfriend or mom or whatever happened, because that's re-traumatizing yourself. And many times, because if you don't know this, I'm sorry to tell this to you, that perpetrators are organized. Perpetrators are organized and they work together and they help each other. I hate to break the news to you. And they have much money, very much money, and they have infiltrated many systems, including the healing system, including like let's just dissect the Violence Against Women Act. Okay. You can get money for a rape crisis center through that Violence Against Women Act as long as you don't prosecute. So it's like, excuse me, what? So like there's layers and layers that have been infiltrated that when you start to dissect it, you're like, wait a second, okay, hold on. So you're keeping us in here's a Band-Aid, here's healing it. Oh no, you need to go back and relive all this stuff. Let's keep you in trauma so that you're not actually doing anything. You're just actually like just a cycle of repeated trauma, but you got a Band-Aid and you've got a ribbon, you've got a color. You got a color to that ribbon. You're fine. See what I'm saying? Like I'm into like wipe all of that out of there. Get to actual like serious like healing and quantum healing. Full circle. We're healing like the spiritual side. We're healing the side. We're healing the heart. We're healing the whole body. And then what are you? You are a warrior, y'all. And then you realize that there's more of us than there are of them. Because tell me any of your perpetrators, and I'll tell you that you were not their only victim. And there's more of us than there are of them. The problem is we have been stunted systematically. And then when you start looking at how the perpetrators have infiltrated, you're stunted quite literally everywhere. Your food system, your judicial system, education system. And then the government. What? Yeah, I know. And then when you just do system analysis, not conspiracy theory, this has nothing to do with conspiracy theory. It's straight up system analysis. You will run into organized perpetrators, and then you're going to run into human trafficking. I really hate to break the news. Hey, Jay. Hey, Jay. Jay. You'll like what I did this morning, Jay, I think. I hope. I did my first reaction video. Superstar. Thank you, by the way. I did my very first reaction video on my YouTube because my daughter says I have to start reaction videos because my YouTube sucks. And so I did it with yoga. Y'all are welcome. It's going to be totally inappropriately and overly sexual. And I'm sorry, not sorry. Because I can't not do that. I can't not open my big mouth when I see people doing yoga. And so I just, anything about head injuries, intensifying mental trauma. Interesting. There's a skateboard puppy with a wiggy butt. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the little thingies. When are you posting it, Jay? That's funny. Hey, listen, I got an editor help. So I did I watched all the videos and I did my reaction video and I uploaded it to the drive. I don't know anything because I'm getting technical help. That stuff freaks me out if you missed the beginning. And so I don't know. Hopefully today, tomorrow, I don't know. Editing freedom. I know I have editing freedom. I feel like the heavens have lifted up. We'll see how long I have it for. Y'all, please help me. Because y'all, you buying the workbooks and stuff enables me to have the editor so that I can go a little bit further. So I go a little further. Kind of like making a movie. But in the realm of when you get stuck in trauma, hey, you want to talk about trauma? You want to talk about it? You can get stuck, right? Where are you from outside Chicago? Oh, wait, what? Oh, you live outside Chicago. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. I have a day in Asheville, North Carolina. It's the Angela Shelton Day. It is April 29th. because that's the end of April, and April is Seximicals Awareness, Abuse Awareness Month, and also it's like don't RAPE anybody in April. Yeah, it's good. So at the end, April 29th is Angela Shelton Day. So how about a 360? Well, I did that in my yoga video. Here you go. Look. That reminds me of auditioning. Like when you would audition back in the day, and you have to do a full turn and the profiles turn around, and I would always moo. Mm. My daughter lives on a farm in Chandler, North Carolina. God bless you. Hey. Muted. Oh, see, I have a moderator. I have a good looking moderator in his 20s because Angela's spoiled rotten. She works at Applebee's in Asheville. That's awesome. Applebee's, funny, their menus quite a few years ago used to have Safe Side Super Chick on them. Who is Safe Side Super Chick? That would be me. Yeah, it was on the menus and the placemats and the little cups. It was all Applebee's. It was Safe Side Super Chick. If anybody has those, God, that would be amazing. Little collector items of the little cups that got me on it. Safe Side Super Chick. Did you know that I'm Safe Side Super Chick? What'd you say? Yeah, I'm all around healing. Healing for the kids and healing for the family and even the creepy uncle. I mean, seriously, I'm open-minded, y'all. And hey, y'all, I had to do a time warp for an interview to work at a casino in Vegas. Okay. So we are, hold on, let me bring it back because the people are watching this video is a part of this workbook, and I enjoy and the many different stories that are put in there, like we'll go off on a tangent and then come back around, go off on a tangent and come back around. That is like having a female part, starts with a V, and you go all the way around and come back to the point, all the way around and come back to the point. That's why we do that, y'all. That's why we talk because we have a female part that starts with a V. You go all the way around, come back to the point. You should go all the way around, come back to the point, stay on the point, stay on the point, go about all the way around, stay. You're welcome. I just help on all levels. Yes. So in the realm of when you're dealing with this, right, we're in this point where you're actually going to address your trauma. Like you're going to address the bedroom, the closing the bedroom door, or, me closing the bathroom door, or addressing like why you are repeatedly attracted to the jerk, or repeatedly attracted to, oh, look, I'm in the same relationship. Different name. Why? So looking at that, what irritates you about it? What'd you say? Men are like waffles, women are like spaghetti? Do elaborate on that one. Hold on. When you're dealing with this and repeated trauma, spaghetti or waffles, I don't want to feel I am sick and tired of, right? So you was dealing with the bedroom, like you don't want to feel you're sick and tired of. I don't want to feel personally like that whole like going to the talk therapy again to tell the same dang story. As much as I really love 12 steps and as much as they help many people, repeating and saying that you have the issue that you had years ago, however long you had it, every single day, to me is staying in it. I'm into leveling up and getting like where you're not even talking about trauma anymore. The goal with here, this is why this is so good. It's like boring, right? It's like just repeated old trauma because that talking keeps you here, right? And so we're like removing it, and then you heal the wound, and then you have it. And then I'm at this phase where the step 5 is playtime. It was like literally take back playtime. Your playtime is in your schedule. Like that's where we're going. That playtime is literally a part of your life. And that is what I'm doing. And then hey, morning, hey. And then that is when you have playtime and you've taken back your childhoods that were robbed and you actually put in playtime as a schedule, it elevates your work. It elevates your relationships. It makes no sense to me as a workaholic because I'm like, playtime on the schedule. You got too many things to do. You're going to get your ass beat. So I 100% get it. That's why I use myself as an example. Like I'll walk out on the plank, I'll be full reveal, I'll unzip myself and reveal everything. He wanted a 360 back in a minute. Well, I don't mean that part, but I mean, listen, I got a generational flat girl's butt and I work on it. Like I've got a better butt than my mama and my grandmother and my other grandmother, but still, it's still there. I have my own judgments about myself for it. So there's some I don't want to feel a generational white girl butt. I don't want to feel it, right? I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of generational repeated trauma and repeated flat butts. And then I'm working on my own healing, on my own body work. Side note. And Jesus, my friend Jesus, who I call him Jesus, who's Sean Gilder, the one in Nashville, lays this one on me because I just laid a joke out. I'm always laying jokes out like, generational flat butts. He says to me, "Oh, that actually shows that you have a lot of stress." What? He goes, "Oh yeah, the women who have the flat butts, which is mine, mine is not so bad. Y'all need to give me some. Give me some. It's not so bad. Come on now, we're working on it. I got pictures to prove it. You'll show you that on a different site. Oh, look at this. Oh, so anyway, he said the flatter actually shows that you've had stress in your life and an immense amount of stress. And I'm like, that is going to be funny when I'm on stage and I was like, hey, y'all, ladies, stand up. Check it out. Stressed much? So, let's work on your stress. So, me too, having a blast with my innocence. Oh my God, I love that sentence. I love that sentence, taking your innocence back. I am naive as hell and innocent as hell, and I'm embracing it because it's like, wrong platform. That's your listen, careful with that. I have one of those. You got to be careful. You don't get us suspended or something. Oh, yeah. Mine is Mommy Teaches. And it's a trick also because I'm actually teaching fellas to get off of corn addiction. You're welcome. I know. I'm all around, trying. I'm full circle. Full circle. So, what? Speaking of, what will you do with your sword once you have it? What kind of sword are you talking about, sir? Remember that one time? Remember that once you face your fear and remove the sword, you will have it. Sorry. Yeah, be careful. Don't get me suspended, girl. I went, shh, quiet. What are you going to do with your sword on your, no, not that inappropriate. That's because we don't have negative intentions, naive. Yeah, it is. But that naive innocence will also can't attract perpetrators, right? So I have been practicing for many years of not getting rid of my innocence and my naivete because I'm precious like that. I think I'm precious. I'm like, you are dumb as hell. I wrote a book called Dumb Model and Her Four French Chairs. The chairs actually tell the story because the model's so dumb she couldn't have written it. So the chairs actually talk, which is actually quite brilliant. So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? She's not dumb, she's brilliant. But I am innocent and naive 100%. And I really, really believe in people. And I love humans, as horrible and disgusting as they are. I actually really love humans. And so I'm like, yay, let's be innocent. But I have balanced that with badassery. So I am an actual total badass. I actually can use this thing. I can actually like kick some ass. But I don't live like that. I don't live like walking out in the world like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass. It's more like I love you so much, and my heart is so broken. My heart is like so broken in so many pieces from my own stories and also the stories that I've heard from your stories. My heart is shattered, like shattered. And I say that to you because I know your hearts are broken too in many ways. So I'm going to just present this idea that our hearts are broken, therefore they are totally open. So it's like a mosaic that's like cut into a million pieces. It's like, don't try to be like, unbreak your heart. Let's mend everything. If you start mending every broken X-Acto knife slice in my heart, it's going to take too long. I was like, why don't we just like look at it differently? It's like a beautiful mosaic. It's like a kaleidoscope with like all the light coming in, all the precious breaks. It's awesome. So therefore, I will love more. I will love deeper. I will love more profoundly. I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to love more, 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 more. And every single like hit I got, I'm going to catapult my freaking heart. That's my own experience and what I'm going to do. It's that life experience. Yeah, seriously. I just want a waterfall to lay under. Sounds amazing. Yeah, well, I laid under a waterfall the other day and then I fell down it. I have the bruises. I was laying on a waterfall and then I fell down the waterfall. But y'all, listen, naive as hell. That would be her. Oh, you're so sweet. Why do you hate the term codependent? Oh, it's not that I hate it. It's because I believe that we need to lean on each other and help each other. And then teaching us to not do that, it's like, oh, don't be codependent. And it's like, well, I had a great discussion with my friend Jesus about like, well, actually, why don't we embrace that by like kind of want to be codependent? Like not in the way that you're living for someone else or they're above what your needs are. It's like you're a dance. It's like I'm gonna lean on you and you lean on me. And then it's like partner yoga. It's like that would be codependent. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna fall on my ass if you don't hold me right here. And I just think there's a lot of words and there's a lot of things that out there, especially in talk therapies, that separate us. And I think it's intentional. I think you can, but and also this whole toxic masculinity thing and anti-male and anti-female, and females are being erased. Like women are being erased left and right. Oh my God. If y'all don't know about the World Economic Forum, listen, just if you want to blow your mind and get depressed for the day, if you want to go back a page, you want to go back a page into what irritates you, frustrates you, overwhelms you, annoys you, that would be the World Economic Forum and organized perpetrators. Yeah. And the latest is removing women on a new level, calling women humans with bonus holes. That's not a joke. You think that like that's a joke? That's not a joke. And you were erased. Oh, my love. You're not. Don't take that. I love you. Like you were erased in your world, right? Don't erase yourself. So step one, y'all, if I'm giving some advice and some, skipping around in this workbook, stop doing to yourself what the perpetrators did to you. Ding, 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 ding. Stop doing to yourself what the perpetrators did. That's like the biggest aha moment there, because that involves your not eating, that involves beating yourself up, talking to yourself badly, being in repeated traumas. That's doing to yourself what they did to you. So that's your like biggest aha moment of like, stop doing that. And you're like, okay, there you go. Too many women are dependent, not codependent. We completely rely on the man's income when we quit. Interesting. What man? Where's that? Do y'all have that? I ain't got no man's income. Working and Jerome, you're amazing. Thank you. Working and giving up on our careers. Codependence is part of what keeps marriages last. Like, yeah, there's a beautiful marriage balance to codependence. Like, I don't know if it's such a bad word. My mom and I just had this conversation. Yeah, I mean, it's like interesting, like wherever we can have these discussions and not have it separate. How about that? Like have it merge masculine and feminine, merge within yourself also. Like that's with my seximicals work and my seximicals healing coaching stuff that I do to heal a lot of couples and men who are addicted to the corn cob and the corn. it's getting into balancing your feminine and your masculine. So not it's a bigger conversation, but like getting into your true purpose, which is balanced, and I say I live in the middle of a seesaw, and that's my practice, is staying balanced in the middle of a seesaw, because on one side is essentially The Sound of Freedom, like that movie. That's thank God it was such a hit and is such a hit. Please share that. That's so it's unfortunately very true. And like it's all the stories. It's all the truth and the reality of the organized perpetrators and the World Economic Forum and organized perps, and like how we've been infiltrated, and the levels of human trafficking is so daunting and so depressing, and so it makes me want to lay in traffic. So this is this side, or this side, whichever one, this side, and then on this side of the seesaw is miracles. I have seen them. That's why I'm such a faithful person, because I have seen the miracles with my own eyes. I've seen spontaneous healing. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I've been a vehicle through which it has come. I have had it happen to me. I've witnessed it. So it's like my faith. I don't even believe. I know if that, so I'm like, I don't even have any questions. So if I'm talking to somebody who like doesn't believe, that's cool with you. I mean, okay, so you haven't seen anything yet, but that doesn't affect me, because I know. Does that make sense? But I also know firsthand about the darkest, most horrible stuff. So for me, my work is staying balanced in the middle of that seesaw. So not going down the well of hell, and then not just staying in the la la land, because the well of hell still exists. So it's like, so because I do know people like that they live in, I'm just fine, everything's fine. Like, I'm like, well, that's nice and all, but we can actually do a lot to address this demon over here. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. All I can do is laugh about it sometimes. No, don't say sorry. I laugh about it all the time. Like, my perp used to make jokes about buying me off. Oh, God, that is so that intense. But when you get to the place where you're laughing to heal instead of using humor to hide, because that's one of those, like, so I'm using humor to heal. And many years, and I've been there where you're using humor to hide. It's very different. Or to shock value. I've done that too. Have to encourage and lift each other up. Yes, Jerome. Yes. And it's like, that's why I would love to encourage non-separate or merging conversations, unity conversations, as opposed to separation conversations. Because you'll notice in the media and how we're being fed to, and it's not conspiracy theory, it's system analysis. When you go and you actually dissect and you actually do a system analysis of where that information is coming from, to tell us to separate, tell us to remove women, remove men, call women humans with bonus holes. Excuse me, what? And then like take away your rights, and also separate the men, separate the women, all of it. It's intentional. It's intentional. Well, I don't know what you mean by pick a side. Well, like, they want you to pick a side, like, if that's your point, like, yeah, so that you fight against each other. That is intentional. It's like the whole blue and red thing too, like blue, red. I'm not going to talk to you because you're blue, or I'm not going to talk to you because you're red. It's like, when you just stop for a minute and calm the hell down and like go elevate higher, the colors have nothing to do with it. That is an intentional keeping us angry and in this battle while this stuff happens. And it's like, it's tactics 100%. And it's like, once you see that, it's infuriating. You want to go back to what irritates me, what annoys me personally, what overwhelms me are the perpetrator networks. And it pisses me off. It annoys me, overwhelms me, frustrates me. All that in the workbook of mine, it would be organized perpetrators and how they have infiltrated everything. And that is why I say, there are more of us than there are of them. And when we work on our healing in just your own life, don't have to take on the world, y'all, because you don't have to like go in, you know what I mean? Um, why do many celebrities keep their blinders on or binders on? Oh, we can go into that because they're crazy as hell. They're poisoned as hell, and they are such a ball of like trauma themselves and controlled by their handlers. I mean, yeah, I can go into celebrity stuff all day long. I've met and know many of it. Oh Lord God, that's also why I don't live there. Okay. So anyway, so that said, as we wake up and you get over your addiction to celebrities, because they're nutballers, okay? And there's no reason you need to put celebrities and all this stuff on a pedestal, because let me tell you something, you are a better human. Seriously, you are a better human. Okay. I think most celebrities are controlled. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a whole thing. I actually write about it in my Dumb Model book. Dumb Model and Her Four French Chairs is an erotica book, but it don't get me, man. Don't say that word. But it's a trick. It actually shows you how a sociopath works and how to get away from them and how the manipulating of minds in Hollywood. And I did it through like this mentor dude who was like creepy weirdo, like super psycho. He was teaching me how to manipulate the system to move ahead in Hollywood. And I'm not about that, y'all. I am a female Huckleberry fan. I am a fancy redneck. I am going to be up a tree. There's a reason all of my social media says Angela Shelton 007 is because I'm not a part of any of that. I'm not a member of any club. I'm not I ain't. I am a female Huckleberry Finn. I'm on a hammock attached to all y'all's poles. 5. I'll take 5. And I will climb out the building. Like I have been at those Hollywood events. I'm not even joking. I've been at the big, huge Malibu houses, and I have climbed out the window and escaped. That is why I have 007. I'm like, I ain't playing in this party, y'all. I don't care about all that stuff. I have been in the biggest agencies in Hollywood where they couldn't see me. Like I've sat on the floor and I have witnessed things that are the most horrible. And these are the same people that are holding the PC signs and telling the rest of the country how they should behave and what they should say. And when you witness them, it is truly like it's next level horrible. Like the stuff I've witnessed is like, whoa, just what is coming out of your mouth, men and women, agents, is horrible. Like you could go to, I mean, you could get arrested just for what you just came out of your mouth. But oh, you're okay because you're an agent at the big fancy agency. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And I want no part of it. I'm just like, I'm literally like, I am not even Catholic, but I'm like, oh Lord, dousing me. Whew, dousing me with some love juice. Like, whew, y'all are nasty. So anyway, I'm not playing in that. Please read excerpts from that book on videos. Oh, could I? You know what? That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I could do that, and I could read my dreams in my other book. It's called Dumb Model and Her Four French Chairs. I could read the stuff that's not inappropriate because it's like inappropriate and then information. It's informative. It's inappropriately informative. That's what yeah. Anyway, we're on page 63. What are you doing? So listen, so people might buy the book. Yeah, do it. Okay, sure. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that on Fridays as I'm working on scheduling my fun. I need to keep a dream journal on my phone. It's cool to look back on. 100%. Please pay attention to your dreams. They really do make a big difference. I'll read my dreams from Finding Angela Shelton on TikTok and maybe YouTube because I think it's really important, especially when you're in the crisis phase of healing and you think it's daunting. And like yesterday, Nixie was like on the floor. When you're at that stage, because I've been there more than once. When you're literally on the floor, you can really just pay attention to your dreams. Yeah. So, and I wrote my dreams down in my book, Finding Angela Shelton. and while I was making the documentary, and now the dreams are coming true. Like now, 20 years later, like I'll read. I don't have the book with me, but I will read I'll do that. Like that's really cool. So it's because I'm coming out, not that way, because I'm in lots of closets, y'all. You know what closet I'm in? You know what I want in my life? And like biggest dream. Let me tell you right now. I'll tell you my biggest dream. Tell it to me. Tell. Besides a homestead of really hot dudes. Shh. Stop talking. I want to host Saturday Night Live at least once before I die. Like just once. Like I've always wanted to do it. Like it's such a dream of mine. To host Saturday Night Live. More than once ideally, but because of my big mouth, they're probably not going to invite me back. They're like, she said what? Hey y'all, stop. Right. It would just heal so much. So yeah, that is totally like what is like. That's what my mommy always said. I love it. So, okay, listen, we're coming to an hour. So, what will you do with your sword once you have it? You coming to my house? Okay. So, when we're dressing sword of trauma, right? Sword of trauma, you can, whatever trauma you went through is like being pierced with a sword. And when we've dealt with it and healed the wound, and then you have it, this sword is your paintbrush, your dream journal, your books, your crazy dances, your microphone, your guitar, your pen. So for me, it's all of those things. I mean, if you have ADHD and you do a lot of things, I am the tab for everything you want to do. You want to write a book? I'm on there. You want to write a song? I'm on there. You want to do crazy improv dances? I'm in. Saturday Night Live. Oh my God, I love that you just tagged them. And so if you want to do comedy, I'm there too. You want to do adventures? You want to adventure around the world? I'm there too. Like, so, it's like ADHD times $4.99. And so I'm there with you, like whatever. So I probably can help you on all those levels too, which is why I'm coming out with just all my stuff. Like I just handed my entire phone to my editor and been like, hey, just grab what you want and put it anywhere. I don't know what's going to happen, y'all. This is going to be scary because I have been hiding. I don't know if you experienced that. Intentionally and unintentionally, consciously and unconsciously. You know that when you're like, I have intentionally, unintentionally, consciously, unconsciously been hiding. Anybody feel that with me? You have that? I want to write a book, but I'm not as funny as you, and I'd want to be amusing to the reader. Okay. Number 1, stop comparing yourself to anyone. Done. You're welcome. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm fun. I am funny, but you might be hilariously depressing. You know what I mean? Like so don't compare yourself to anybody. It's your voice. If you want to start working on your book, here's a great advice from me. I love you. Is get your Google Drive, Google Doc, there's a little microphone button, press record, start talking. And then you will get into writing with your voice because that is your voice. So then you just get into a rhythm of talking and then you can write it. Because a lot of times when you're writing your book, you can get very daunted by like, I don't know how to write. Well, you know how to talk. So just talk to text and then work on the text. You're welcome. See, you didn't know you were learning how to write a book too. I mean, she's in my group, my private network, Rockstar Reformers, which is really survivors who are victims, became survivors, became warriors, became reformers, and Rockstar Reformers. We have a book writing course the first Tuesday of every month where we all come together. And it's like everybody's at different levels. Sometimes they're just starting. Some people have written many books and we're working on marketing. Like it really does run the gamut. And number 1 is get over the whole fear of doing it. Just start. And also don't compare yourself with anybody. Because who wants to read the same book? And also my funny is different than your funny. My story is different than your story. And what your story will help other people. It just will. So perfect timing. What will you do with your sword once you have it? Is that your pen? Is it your microphone? So you're going to talk in it and write your book. You're welcome, right? What would you do with your life if you had no pain and suffering? Probably host Saturday Night Live. What would you do? I used to be a safe house for victims of SA. I wish I knew about you then. Oh, wow. Well, you know about me now. La, 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 la. You know about me now. You know about me now. Even in the trauma informed recovery world, trauma informed care world, I am a rebel. Like, so even there, because many nonprofits, by the way, don't actually want you to get better, because then they would lose their funding. So it's like, I'm into elevating people and getting the people out of pain, not keeping them stuck there to keep getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather lose the job and do something else. Like, let's go hammock camping. Let's go to North Carolina to the Grassroots Dance Festival. I mean, come on. Come to London and see my show that I'm putting together. And I don't even know. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of it. Yeah, that's whatever. Judge me all you want. Remember that once you face the fear and remove the sword, you will have it. What will you do with your life if you had no pain and suffering? Interesting. And this, by the way, speaking of your books, you can get this workbook. There's a coloring book version. It's the same book. You can get these on my website printed on Amazon. They're like, I think this is a little $37 or something because of all the color in it. And then the workbook, the coloring book, I think is $27, but you can download them for $9, or you can go through the free videos of my YouTube and just do it on your own. But I will tell you, I'm a writer. I've written many books. I've written many screenplays. I intentionally wrote the process of this, the order in which things come. I wrote it in the hero's journey template, which most movies are written with the hero's journey template for the most part. So I did this in the hero's journey template so that when you actually do the work and you write it down or you talk to speech into your Google thingamajigger, you'll have the first draft of your book. What'd you say? I said, when you do your work, do the workbook and fill it out from your story, from you, like what's coming up from you, you will have the first draft of your book. And you are welcome. I love you. Listen, if I hadn't been through my daddy, I would once I have my sword, I want to let's see. If I hadn't been through me, honestly, when I actually, like, y'all aren't here, I'm going to do this by myself. It would be poverty. Poverty is my biggest, like, zinger. If I hadn't been through total poverty and not been able to do F all in my life, I would, have become a model where I was making a ton of money and travel the world. And also I would start an organization. I did that. Rockstar Reformers, so that people could meet each other and help elevate each other. If I hadn't been through that, I'd have a much, much more profound Seximicals life. Have that too. Okay, so see, you can do it. You can keep. Yay! Oh my God, I love that one. I'm so glad I looked up and saw when people send me things on TikTok and put hats on me and stuff. It's real fun. I love it. I don't know what it does in the back end because it terrifies me. I need to learn. I need to get past. Woohoo! I need to get past my fear of technical stuff just so I can deep dive and like, what was that? What was that hat? Like that, I got a hat with like, yeah. I get the knights and I get the crowns. God, I love it. I love it. I love you. Once I have my sword, I want to. So once you've addressed this and you have your sword, what are you going to do? I want to host Saturday Night Live. I do. You know what I'm doing? I want to have a one-woman hilarious show of a comedy that's not funny. I'm doing it. So when you come into my world, quit judging. You're nasty. When you come into my world, I'm just going to warn you. This happens with people, and people that have known me forever, people that are just new to me, people that are known me for 20 years or 30 years. There's something happens when we have these deeper conversations where your life does a whoop, and it's like, and it is a little bit hold on for dear life. I'm going to warn you. It is like, oh Oh, wait, you went to Angela Shelton's show? Oh my God. Oh, hold on. And I'm going to warn you because it's true. It's hold on for dear life, because you're probably going to quit that job you hate. You're probably going to leave that relationship you're miserable in. You're probably going to start a dance class, or you're probably going to face that fear you've always wanted to face. And you're welcome. And that is my little magic. That's my superhero quality that I can instill, is giving you that little, here it is. Look, in whatever color you're in, look, like you get the juice you need. You get the juice you need, just like with the work I do with men. Like, they honestly, so many of them just needed to hear, or just need to hear, that they're loved. And like, I got you. You're such a good boy. You're such a good man. Please keep going. You're not alone. Like, that's my love I give to the men in many ways, because sometimes they need to be, listen. But it's the same thing. It's the same. Thank you for the flower. It's the same little tweak in your own brain, that makes you go, oh wait, okay, I am totally loved, and I am like dealing with all this trauma that happened to us, and like going to the next level. Yeah, it's scary. Sure, it's scary. But you know what? What's scarier? I'm sorry. It's scarier to stay. It's scarier to stay in the trauma and the repeated trauma. And then, oh, look at you. Congratulations. You're in another abusive relationship. Yeah, I'm so happy for you. Great. How's that feel? So it's like, let's elevate out of that. And we do that by sharing our healing, sharing I'm into spontaneous healing, like radical healing, like it's overnight, like you're just like, boom, you had an aha moment, and you're like, boom. And huge aha moments that I share. One is, stop doing to yourself what the perpetrator did to you. Right there. If you will just take an analysis of the time you spend and what you put in your mouth, and as long as it's not what was your abuse, good job. Right? That could be not feeding you. That could be feeding you too much. That could be telling you horrible things all day long. Well, then you are not allowed to say horrible things to yourself anymore, because you can't do to yourself what the abuser did. Does that make sense? Yes, it makes sense. And it's easier done than said. 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 You can make a dramatic shift and stop talking about it, and just do it. So you got to run. I love you. This is amazing. If you want to make it to Daytona Beach, you need to come down to Daytona Beach. Like, the best thing with that is to book me at this college or an event. It's on my site is angelashelton.com/speaker. Real fun. You have the ability to explain the masculine to feminine. Oh, yay. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Like, I am very much a promoter of the men, and because of male survivors. And I have a lot to say about it. And I will continue. Once we think differently, love us where others left off. Ooh, yeah. We're so simple. Yeah, no. Life is an Excel spreadsheet. You got all your traumas, right? And all the raised by wolves and all this. And you, because of this, you're going to have a column on there. Repeated addictions, repeated self-abuse, eating problems, food problems, relationship problems. You might go into being incarcerated if your family was incarcerated. There's that level. It's also the ACE study. You can look at this, like, life is an Excel spreadsheet. You're gonna end up with all this crap because of the crap you went through, until you change the equation. And changing the equation is, actually, no, I'm going to remove it. It's gonna hurt and you're gonna cry. Who cares? And then you have it. Yes. You'll see me do a lot more with the sword. I got a lot of stuff to do with my sword. You know what, Ron? You know what? Maybe somebody can name a puppet tomorrow. What do you think? I don't know if I brought any puppets that haven't been named, but we get to name puppets here. I'm here all week, people. Here all week. I'm here in Nashville. I'm about to go ride some bikes right now. I just heard them open. They've got them all lined up. I'm going to go ride some bikes. I love you. I love you. Mwah. Bye. Do your workbook pages. Do your workbook pages.